What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up to everyone in the chat, guys. I was so exhausted yesterday. I couldn't do a stream after the game. But I really wanted to. I really wanted to. But then I remembered I was going live today anyways. So we'll kill two birds with one stone. Obviously, talk about the Chelsea game. I'm going to drop the link so some people can jump in, have their say. You guys know what it is. Big up to everyone in the chat as always. Big up to Adam says, we did it. It should have been 5. Listen, where's all the people that said we were going to lose yesterday? Where is all the negative Nancys that said that we were going to lose yesterday? Where are you? Please announce yourself in the chat when you enter, because I would like to have some words with you. Obviously, yesterday's performance, I think that was a very flattering scoreline. I honestly think that scoreline, if you looked at the scoreline, you would have thought 2-1, rah. It must have been a close game, but it was absolutely not a close game. And you know what? It also highlighted some of Manchester United's problems that obviously we've been knowing for some time, which is their finishing ability. They need to be more clinical. Yesterday could have been, Mctominay could have had 5 goals, 4 goals. We're going to talk about Mctominay, obviously. We're going to talk about Rashi, going to talk about Amrabat, obviously. Harry Maguire, Hall of Fame performance, putting in a Hall of Fame performance. Again, we're going to talk about that as well. Big up to Kenny, says, yo, I'm going to send the link for the call-in. Been a while. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to Luyanda, says, big up everyone. Big up Dipesh, says, Chelsea had many chances as well, but I overestimated. I can't lie. You know what? Let's talk about that. The chances that Chelsea had, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really feel threatened by them. I don't know what it is. I just feel like when Chelsea are in front of goal, or if they're in front of our goal, I don't know. I don't feel like they'll score. Like, if it was any other team, I would feel some sort of nervousness. But with Chelsea, I didn't feel it. Mudryk had a chance that I think he was trying to slot it into the near post, missed it. Even the Cole Palmer goal, I genuinely think that, I feel like Andre Onana dived a bit early. I think had he shuffled a bit with his feet and then dived, he would have definitely got onto the end of it. But it's the fact that he dived from the position that he was in. He was never going to save that. He was never ever going to save that. So I think, Cole Palmer slotted it in. It was pin perfect in terms of accuracy into the corner. But I feel like Lindelof should have done better. Lindelof, seasoned defender, I think should have done better. But Dipesh makes a valid point here. They did have a lot of chances. I never felt threatened by it at any point, to be honest. They had like a 2-on-1 counter, was it, with Sterling, and then he squared it too early, and Jackson just kind of, Onana made a good save to kind of come out quickly. But for me, it was like never threatened. On the other side, I feel like this is the most fluid I've seen Man United's front line. Obviously, I will say that Manchester United, Chelsea are not a great team. Chelsea is not a great team. That's one thing I know. I ain't watched them a lot this season, by the way. I said it, but in my pre-game stuff that I was doing, I've only watched them a handful of times this season, but they are not good. So the fact that United were able to press, they bypassed our press a few times, but a lot of the times we were able to win the ball. Our front line was probably the most fluid that I've seen the front line in a minute. It was probably the most fluid. And we're going to talk about it because obviously Rashford came on later into the game. We're going to talk about Hojlund because a lot of people got stuff to say about Hojlund. And you know what? Yes, he hasn't scored, but I feel like a lot of the chances that Mctominay got yesterday was kind of thanks to Hojlund. Having a striker's presence that is occupying the centre-backs, dragging them out. And I know, guys, it's hypocritical because this is basically what I used to praise Weghorst for, and people used to rip into me, or like, especially on UV, people used to get onto me and be like, oh, he's a striker, he's meant to score, so I shouldn't be praising him for that. But I feel like a lot of the chances McTominay is getting is kind of that. And you know what, guys? McTominay scores goals, but sometimes I'm thinking, is it worth the risk that we have in midfield? Like any other kind of team, I think would have ran through that midfield. I think any other team would have ran through that midfield, that lone midfielder that we play with Scotty and Bruno in front. Any other team would have run through it. Chelsea won. How much did they spend? Nearly 200 and something million on Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. That is, they need to go back and ask for a refund. They need to go back and ask for a refund. That's what they need to do. There's no way that they spent that much and Manchester United, a lone player, an academy player, managed to boss the game. That kind of says a lot. Big up to Grace, says, why are people turning on Amrabat because he's not a big name and didn't cost 100 million? He's our only midfielder yesterday that can keep the ball. McTominay and Bruno playing shadow strikers. You don't know where I stand on Amrabat. I always said, listen, let him get a run of games, consistent games, 90-minute games. Let him get a consistent run of regular football, and you will see the impact that he makes. Yesterday, I think he held his own. I think he held his own against a poor team, but he still held his own. People are talking about Amrabat like as if we lost. People are talking about the game as if we lost. Like, I don't get it. Do we hate? Like, do people want the manager out that badly that they're talking about the game as if United lost? You would never think United won. And then the counter argument always is, oh, but Chelsea's poor. Okay, but if we had lost to Chelsea, people would have been having mental breakdowns. People would have been losing the plot. People would have been screaming and shouting and crying had we lost to Chelsea, but we beat them. So yeah, the argument can be they are a poor team. But United went and got 3 points. That's all that matters. Got 3 points. They looked better. The front line looks so much better for me. I feel like Garnacho growing into it. Garnacho. More games he plays, the more he starts, he's growing into it. Once he gets his decision making better, once he improves his decision making, he'll be a good player. I think he'll be a great player. Anthony, for me, looked good. This is back-to-back starts that he's had. Galatasaray and today, it's not back-to-back, but Galatasaray and yesterday against Chelsea, good performances. I feel like Anthony could bode well for us. I know, guys, it sounds mad for me to say that. But I genuinely think that Anthony could bode well for us in terms of being a system player. Yesterday and the last few games that he's played, I don't know if you lot realize, he doesn't shoot much. If his job is simply to defend, be an extra man in defense, and to pass and link up well, provide energy, I think he does it well, and he's done it good 2 games in a row. So I respect that. 200 million midfield got bullied by McSauce. McTominay, man, you love him or you hate it. Like, 1 minute you love him, 1 minute you hate him. Even though McTominay scored twice, he isn't the answer to the midfield. It's still wide open. I agree. Amrabat bossed the midfield. Caicedo and Enzo, 200 million. Amrabat loan. If that team started at Anfield, we lose badly. Listen, Ten Hag is setting up the players based on the opponent. Will he set up like that at Anfield? I don't know, but let's take it one game at a time, guys. Like, we're not being allowed to celebrate 3 points, enjoy 3 points, enjoy good. Like, yesterday could have easily been 6-1, 7-1, 8-1. It could have easily been that had United been more clinical. There were so many chances that we had. It's actually quite ridiculous. Put McTominay up front. His numbers better than all our strikers combined, and we won't have to watch him in midfield. The funny thing is, I remember a lot of people saying that he used to play up front in the academy, and then he debunked that in an interview, saying he didn't. He just played up top a few times when he was needed to, and they had no strikers. For me, is his stance, his physicality, his height is a plus. But also, do you know what I genuinely think it is, guys? I think that when there's a ball coming into the box, defenders think to mark up against the biggest threats. So the striker, Bruno, whoever's at back post. Nobody's watching the midfielder making a late run into the box. No one's watching that, because they're probably thinking he's not a threat. And I feel like a lot of the goals he got, he could have had, I think, a hat-trick of headers yesterday. He could have actually had a hat-trick of headers. Is he going to start working on his finishing in training? I don't know. But I think Hojlund does good for McTominay to get these opportunities. That's what I think. I think Hojlund does good enough for McTominay to get these opportunities. I think without him, he wouldn't really get those 2, 3, 4 chances that he gets in a game. But for me, I need Hojlund to hit the ground running in terms of scoring goals. Like, we can't have spent 70-something million on a player and be happy with the fact that he's basically creating space for others to score. I don't want that. I need him to hit the ground running. I need him to start making it, putting the ball in the back of the net. I need him to start doing that. I need him to start putting the ball in the back of the net. I know that I can't imagine his frustration of not scoring. And I feel like I'm happy no one gets onto him. But if that was anybody else, Weghorst, they were ripping into him. How soon when he wasn't scoring in the Premier League, and Weghorst was only a loan signing. This guy's 70 million. I think because he scored in the Champions League, albeit that might mean nothing for us for our season. He scored in the Champions League, so we know he can score. We know he can put the ball in the back of the net. We know he can finish. We know that he can beat a man. He can run him from behind the defense. We know he can do all of that. We just need to see it in the Prem. I was hoping yesterday would be the time that he kind of hits the ground running. But I'm not gonna lie, the second goal that Mctominay scored, Hojlund had 2 men on him. He had 2 men on him, which opened up that space for Mctominay. So, I know people are going to say to me, oh, but Mina, you don't like Mctominay. I don't like a lot of players in our team, but if they come on and do a job, I will support them. It's as simple. Like, I'm a very simple person. I'm a very simple person, guys. I'm a very simple person. You come on, you do a job, I'll support you. It's as simple as that. Whether you leave in the summer or not is a different situation. But for the time being, as long as you're putting on that United shirt and you're playing and you're working hard, you're doing well, you're scoring, you're contributing, I will support you. Rashford came on yesterday, and even then, I don't feel like he what's the term, like, I don't feel like he was like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to be too harsh, but I don't feel like he was in it. Like, I don't think his heart was in it. He was still walking around in that front line, even though United were up and everything. I just, for me, I'm expecting energy. People are saying you don't run. Come on and prove a point. Just run. Come on and prove a point. Just run. He wasn't doing that. I feel like United's best performances, it's crazy to say this, United's best performances, especially in that front line this season, has come when Rashford's on the bench. It was the Crystal Palace game. It's the Crystal Palace game and what's the other one? And obviously Chelsea game. But the Crystal Palace game, where a lot of players was actually out of the starting lineup. It wasn't just him, but there was a lot of people out of the starting lineup. But I feel like yesterday's game, he looked good. He looked proper. Big up Koala says, big up Mina, big up everyone in the chat. I'm still Eric Ten Hag out. I hope Troy Superstar calls in. Amrabat, Kobe midfield could work against Liverpool. I just need energy. Energy. McTominay backup centre forward next season. We need a proper 8. McTominay could honestly be like, I know, I don't want to say it, but do you guys remember Chicharito? Hernandez, super sub. He was our super sub that would come on when we're chasing a goal. Could McTominay become that person? I don't know, because any other game that we play where we are, being dominated in midfield, he's gonna be a hindrance. In a game that United are dominating and they're getting crosses into the box, he will come handy. But in a game where it's a midfield battle, it's absolutely going to be a hindrance for us. So, and because of that, I feel like we might never see. I don't want to say never, but we might never see an Amrabat and Kobe midfield. Like, I don't see it happening. One thing I hope that we see is a consistent run of games. I hope we see a consistent run of games for Amrabat. If that means him and Kobe playing together, so be it. But the only way that we will really see what benefit or non-benefit having Amrabat in our team is if he gets a consistent run of games. I think it's kind of harsh. People criticizing him. Like yesterday, the way people are talking about Amrabat, guys, you would have thought that, United lost last night. You would think that United lost last night, and you would think that Amrabat scored 5 own goals. The way that I'm seeing people talking about Amrabat is like people are mad that he had a good game. It's like Maguire, when Maguire was going through this run of games that he was getting, and he was playing good and he was playing well, people were mad about it. And I'm like, you cannot like a player, and you might not think that a player is fit, like the right fit for the team. But when they have good performances, it benefits nobody but us. It benefits no one but us. So you should want your player to have good performances, whether you like the player or not. Scott McTominay is an example. I'm not fond of him in terms of playing in midfield, but when he has a good performance, I'm the first one to be screaming, Scotty too hotty. Like, I'm literally screaming that, because I will get behind the player. Even if I don't want him in the club, I will get behind him, because he's playing well, he's benefiting us. Big up to Sidaf in the chat. Says, yo, Mina, how you doing? I'm doing good. Listen, guys, I'm going to drop the link soon in the chat. If you want to join the call, you get a couple minutes. We could talk about the Chelsea game, of course, but you need to put your name. I need to see your name there so I know who you are, of course, because I would like to hear everybody's opinions about the games. And especially with, Bournemouth on the weekend. Amrabat ain't it. Koala, I think Koala's just trolling at this point, and I think Koala's just saying stuff that, like people who are Eric Ten Hag out, they are also anti his signings. They want his signings out. So I think that's what Koala's doing. But I don't know how we looked at yesterday's game, and thought Amrabat was not good. Or we look at yesterday's game and think Garnacho, for me, 19 years old, has pretty much solidified that left-hand side for now. If Rashford plays, I think he will be playing either out on the right or through the middle. I think it's safe to say for now, Garnacho has made a good enough impression to stay on that left-hand side, and I don't want him to be dropped. If I'm being honest, I don't think he's had a performance yet worth dropping him. Yesterday, he didn't get a goal, but I think he was involved in pretty much everything. I think he was involved in a lot. And you know what, for me, is like sometimes he just has a moment of lapse where he makes a bad decision. But he's young and he will learn. He's young and he will learn. He's 19 years old. There's players out there, 25, 26, making poor decisions. That's something that you can't change. But a 19-year-old, I definitely think that can change. And also, we need these run of games. Like, I know people are saying, it's just Chelsea. It's just, Chelsea have their own problems this season. Chelsea are, having a bad whatever season or 2 seasons. They're turning on their manager. Blah blah blah. I don't care. After Luton game, I said big 3 points. We need it. After Burnley game, 1-0, I said big 3 points. We need it. 3 points. I'll take it where I can get it. It's as simple as that. And especially when the last couple days, with all the news about Manchester United out in the media, the leaks, press conference bans, all of that kind of stuff, you need a positive performance on the pitch just to lift the spirits of, the fans and the player and the manager. The manager needs backing. The manager needs support. They were saying in the media that 50% of the fan base, 50% of the squad have turned on the manager, has fallen out with the manager. It can't be the 50% that played yesterday, because they looked like they were fighting for the manager. They looked like they wanted to play well. They were taking instructions. They wanted it. They wanted to win. They wanted 3 points. They wanted to score. It can't be them. And this is why I say the media just make up stuff half of the time. Big up to Dean in the chat, says, I predicted 2-1. You did. A lot of people actually predicted that we were going to lose. I was hoping for a 3-2-5, but he don't want a double pivot. But in big games, he will have to do that. In big games, I think double pivot has to be a thing. It has to be a thing, because otherwise, whoever plays in that middle by themselves will just get overrun. It's as simple as that. Big up to Larry, says, we should be happy with the positives, but acknowledge there are still things we need to work on so that when we have bad results, we stay grounded. 100%. I wouldn't say everything is all rosy and dandy and everything's better now. I wouldn't say that. But for me, what's the small growth is better than no growth? I think that's the saying. Or did I just make that up? I don't know. But for me, it's baby steps. It's 1 step at a time. If you take 5 steps forward and 2 steps back, you're still making progress. So for me, every time United win, and anytime they put in a good performance, because let's be for real, guys, a lot of the time United have won this season, it hasn't been on the back of good performances. It has not been on the back of good performances. It's been more so on the back of games that, we just about nick it. Burnley, Luton, etc. Nottingham Forest. It's been games that we just about nick it. So if we can get 3 points and a good performance on top of that, I don't care who the opponent is. If it's a good performance, it's a good performance. Like I said, last night's scoreline was flattering. Very flattering to Chelsea. I don't think if I had not watched the game and I looked at it, I would have thought it was a close game. But when I watched it, I said, there's no way. It reminds me of the Everton game last season. I think it ended like 3-0 or 2-0 at Goodison Park. But it should have been like 10-0 because United had so many chances. Chelsea, to me, was never threatening. Even when Cole Palmer scored, I still felt a bit comfortable that United would get a goal back. But we got the first caller here. We got a few, so I'm going to try and get through them. Big up to Kenny Fan TV in the building. What's happening? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm good. Big up to you. Listen, let's get straight into it. Yesterday's performance. Are you happy with the 3 points? That's what I have to ask first.
Yes, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the 3 points. And yes. I thought this was our best Premier League performance of the season for me, by standards, by far, in my opinion. I don't care if it is. I don't care if Chelsea are mid-table. we have to beat them what it really is in front of you right now. I know Chelsea's midfield is their midfield quality is good than us, but like we still managed to overcome it. Our midfield still really overran them. I don't know what's going on with like Enzo and Caicedo. A lot of Chelsea fans, they were saying they're going to railroad us in midfields, but it didn't turn out well for them. So yeah, it was good. I was really happy with it. And shout out to Amrabat as well. He did well. And yeah, let's take it game by game, slowly, slow and steady.
Let's talk about Rashford, because obviously he came on, I think, his last 10 or so minutes of the game.
5 minutes. He came in for 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes of the game. Do you think that they look better without him? Does United's front line look better without Rashford involved?
This is for me, we played better without Rashford, in my opinion. Like I can tell you one example. Like against Galatasaray, I was surprised with how our attack was good against them, and now against Chelsea, like we played well as a team. And I'm glad. I was so happy when Rashford got benched. I was so happy. This is the first time I celebrated like Rashford should get benched. He needs to be benched for like at least 5 games, man. I mean, I think his confidence is low, but come on, he's been there for like 9 seasons, man. Like 9 seasons already. But I mean, he has to really work his socks off. So I don't really expect much from him, but I really hope he comes back good. It is what it is.
Next 3 games is what? Bournemouth, Bayern, Liverpool.
Oh, Bournemouth are really good. They're really informed right now. This guy isn't Hamza.
So you and Hamza live in the same place.
Oh yeah. I just saw. I saw his few channels. He probably had the same setup. So yeah, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, it is indeed a good setup. So I mean, I don't really have a green screen in front of me. So
that looks like a nice house. That looks like a nice.
Indeed, yeah, indeed.
But 3 games coming up. Let me know. Win, draw. What do you think's gonna happen?
You know what? I don't want to expect much. So. So Bournemouth, okay. I can only tell Bournemouth. So Bournemouth, we should win, but I think we will just edge it. We are playing at home, right? Old Trafford.
Yeah, we're playing at Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, yeah. I think we should get it. I don't want to really expect anything from us against Bayern or Liverpool. So I will leave that in. I will leave that to you guys.
All right,
I'll leave it to you.
All right, big up Kenny Fan TV, man, in the house. Appreciate it. Peace. Listen, I don't know, man. I'm feeling optimistic for the next few games. I can't lie, but I don't want the high of this game to kind of let me run with it. I don't want to do that. But another call it in. A man has no name. Can you hear me? Big up. I need your name before. I can't refer to you as a man has no name. Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2. I'm gonna have to go to the next person.
Oh, hi, Mina.
Big up. How are you, man?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're United fan, yeah? Because it's strictly United fans here.
I am, of course, man. Pause. What did you ask? Of course, I am. What did you ask that? Yeah, I am.
What do you think of yesterday's performance? Firstly, are you Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out?
Listen, I know most of us watch GR Sport. I guess most of us. There's a therapy session that happened with Calm Flex. I can't remember the other guy's name, but they were talking about Ten Hag and how poor things were. And then Calm said that Ten Hag has no charisma. That he said that a manager needs to have that it factor for them to be successful in a big club. He talked about Emery being a character, Arteta, Klopp, Pep. And then he said, Ten Hag doesn't have that thing. And that pissed me off. Because last season, we were all talking about how Ten Hag is such a, he's such a, you know what I mean? That pissed me off. I've been Ten Hag in for the longest time. And I hate everyone talking about like Ten Hag should leave. I know it's going to be tough, but I'm Ten Hag in. And yes, I loved yesterday's performance. Second best performance of the season, 100%.
Mo, you can call in. Listen, it's open to everyone. I'm just taking the piss half the time. But let's get into it. Chelsea game yesterday, 2-1, 3 points at home. What did you make of the game?
I've hated Anthony my whole life, but god damn, I loved him yesterday. I've been the biggest Anthony critic ever, but he was giving me vibes. Did you guys see when Scott McTominay lost the third goal, which would have been after he scored the second goal, he almost scored right after. Yeah. And then he dropped down, and then Anthony just came and picked him up. I was like, I love that. And the whole tempo, the energy, the way we played as a team, everything was so. I don't think we've played with energy for 90 minutes ever this season, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
That could have been the first game, and Scott said it was about the light training. I think we are cooking,
All right, I'm asking everyone this question because I think it's the hottest topic. Rashford being dropped.
Drop him, and sell him. Say what I say. Sell him January or how many times do we have to keep accommodating these meaty players all the time? We've done it with Sancho. Actually, let's go back. We did it with Pogba. We did it with that guy from Mkhitaryan. Shinji Kagawa. We've done it with so many players. Oh, they're gonna come good. They're quality players. It happens all the time, and we never learn. Rashford he's had one good season in the last 3, I guess. He's gotta go. That's
what you're saying. What, cash in after they just gave him a big contract in the summer?
Cash in. He needs to go PSG, Juve, AC Milan, whatever. Cash in now.
One thing I will say, no Pogba slander here on my channel, guys. You lot know, no Pogba. I know you just got a 4-year ban, but no Pogba slander here. Okay? No,
you're Team Pogba.
I was, but I don't dabble in. I don't dabble in magic and all of that kind of stuff. So once I heard,
we know you to be very critical and very level-headed. You're Team Pogba.
Listen, guys. If I actually did content when Pogba was at United, I think I would have been cancelled. I would have been cancelled. That's what
you should have been cancelled.
Yeah. I have let's put it this way, guys. I got home away alternative kit every season with Pogba on the back. So I have 3 shirts every season.
But Pogba was dead.
It's not about me. This ain't about me in it. This is
but Pogba was dead though. But Pogba was dead. Let's just be clear. Pogba was dead.
He was good. So let's appreciate that he was good at some point.
It was just one season.
Let's appreciate that. Last question is about really the next 3 games, but also do you think we can keep it up, sustain this, pick up momentum, keep it going?
As the history tells us, I think no. I think it's just gonna come back at some point, default settings. But I think we are not that far off as people think we are. I think we just need to keep doing our thing. It's not the best thing, but if we can just have shades of what happened yesterday for most of the season, I think we'll be okay. I think we're definitely finishing 4th or 5th.
Okay, 4th or 5th. That's.
But can I ask you something though? Your prediction of like the top 3. I just need to know who you think is, because it's not gonna be City though, and I'm saying it here. City are not gonna win the league. So is it Liverpool or Arsenal?
I think Arsenal's gonna win the league. I think they.
Sin being yourself. Sin being me. Sin being me instead. Love the whole team. Arsenal, brother. If Arsenal win, me and KJ and all the man. Well, welcome to MinaFootball.
I'm kidding. No, but I think this is the year for. I think it could be the year Arsenal win it, man. I'm being honest. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, man. But big up to Wallace for calling in. Appreciate it. Peace. Guys, what am I crazy for saying Arsenal? I wish Villa could win it. Like honestly, if Villa won it, yeah, it would be legit. It would be legit. Like if Villa could actually win it, I could get behind that. But I don't know if is it going to be another Leicester 2.0. Maybe we'll know better. We'll know more in February. But next caller, big up to Sidaf. Can you hear me? I hope you can because I don't want to do the whole 1-2-1-2.
Hello, Mina.
Yes,
How you
yes, I'm good. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes.
Big up, big up. How you doing?
Doing well. Just working right now.
Listen, let's talk about Chelsea game because I know you're a level-headed fan and you're a realistic fan. What do you think of the performance yesterday? And just in general, 3 points. Scott McTominay with a double. Players playing their heart out. It looked like.
It was not a great game. Like many people are trying to make it a great game. It was a great performance. Yes, we had our chances. Okay, we won 3 points. It is going to be a big boost for the confidence of the players. But yes, it is about being consistent now. Can we beat Bournemouth? Can we beat Bayern? Can we just keep on winning and then beat Liverpool? That's the question. Because I think we've been here. It is I think the second time that we had a decent performance. Because first time I think it was I forgot the team that we had a great performance, and then
I think it was
we
Palace.
thought about
The cup.
it was yes,
Palace in the
there
cup.
was Mason Mount. We thought that yes, Manchester United are back. The season is finally kicking in, and afterwards it just went back to default settings. So we just hope it is not going to be the same.
But do you feel optimistic, or are you feeling like you can't say anything because you just don't know? Because I feel like that a lot of the time.
This team is just unpredictable. You don't know. Just like Scott McTominay, he can score 2 goals and then okay back to Scott McTominay. Now he's just being Zinedine Zidane, like people are saying, or the R9. I think I don't know who said he was playing like R9, and
It was it. I know who said that. Somebody said it on United View. I think it was. I can't remember. Was it Rich? I think it was Rich that said it. That he plays like R9. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was Rich because he said it in our group chat yesterday as well.
it is good. It is good. He's playing. He played well, but yes, of course, he missed chances. And I think that has been another problem with this team, that we keep on missing easy chances, easy opportunities in front of goal. Even Garnacho, I think that missed. He was in front of goal and he just kicked the ball on Sanchez. I think there was a pass from Onana. But yes, we just expect something good on Saturday.
Obviously, everyone's going to talk about Saturday, but let's talk about Champions League. Do you think United can get a result against Bayern? I know it depends on what happens in the other game, and they have to draw. But do you think United could get a result against Bayern Munich?
Yes. I'm always positive, sometimes reckless. I think we were gonna beat Chelsea 4-0. I wrote that in the
2-1
chat.
is close enough. That's close enough.
Yes, but Bayern, yes, we are gonna beat them, but qualify, I don't know. It is. I think I don't know if I can say it, but I don't think we deserve to qualify like we've played. How we just bottled games. I don't know, but yes, we just don't deserve. Even if we qualify, I think we might end up in the Europa League, but yes, we don't deserve.
I don't want that. I don't want that. But I don't know, man. We'll see. Big up to Sidaf. You guys, if you are in the chat, you know Sidaf, a long time member of the community. Appreciate calling in. We've got a few more people, so I'm gonna try and get through them as well. Matt.
Hey, what's up, Mina?
What's happening? You good?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Listen, what do you think of? Are United back? Let me just stop beating around the bush and asking people, what did you think? Are United back, or do they still have a long way to go?
we still have a long way to go, Mina. I'm here to preach objectivity. Just let's be objective. You know, I feel like as United fans, we tend to get carried away. We still have a lot of problems as a club, but when you have positive results, we ignore the negatives that we still have, and then when we have negative results is when we want to try and pick on all these results. Against Newcastle, guys were talking about Ten Hag out. One thing that guys weren't focusing on was that starting lineup. Only one of his signings, despite him spending 400 million, there's only one of his signings who started that game. So when guys talk about Ten Hag out, we're not seeing the same things as Tottenham, as Chelsea, as Brighton, new managers coming in and implementing their style of play. We also have to consider the fact that all these other managers who've come in have come into a club that doesn't have European football. So they've been having one game a week. So they've been having time to implement the coach's tactics. Ten Hag came out. Ten Hag came to United. Expectations were low. He exceeded those expectations. And then now, when he was trying to start implementing his systems and all that, we realize that the players are not exactly the ones he wants. We've had injuries. People talk about injuries. Why do we have injuries? He's trying to change that. People forget the fact that we've gotten a medical staff, the head of medical staff from Arsenal at the beginning of the month, or was it the season?
Yeah,
so that will take time. That will take time to start seeing the results of players not getting injured as much as they used to be. So we still need to just stay objective. If you take yesterday's game, for example, I saw the United View guys were talking about Onana getting a 6 because of the goal. Mina, if that was a penalty and that penalty had been put in the corner like that, no one would be talking about the keeper. Guys would be talking about how that was a proper penalty that no keeper in the world would catch.
Yeah,
True
6
or false?
is a bit harsh. I think six is a bit harsh.
And let's also remember, people are forgetting first half. Onana made some big saves. It could have been a typical United game where we started excitedly, and then we gave up 2-3 chances, we conceded, and then the mentality goes down. Then at the end of the game, guys would have started criticizing. Garnacho yesterday, had he not had the two vital, he had a good game, yes, but we also have to remember there are a couple of chances he missed. Had we not won that game, guys would have been on his neck saying how wasteful he is, how we're Pickley fans. We know how we are. So we just need to stay objective regardless of the results.
All right, let's talk about Rashford, because you're saying let's firstly, are you Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out?
Ten Hag in. Ten Hag in. I believe
Ten Hag is everyone that's calling in is Ten Hag in. I like that.
Ten Hag is the best thing we have going. If we get rid of this guy, we might as well start counting down our 30 years like Liverpool have right now.
Let's talk about Rashford, because you said let's be objective. So let's try to be as objective as possible with Rashford. Do you see a way for him to turn this form around and kind of get back into the team? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think United play better when he's been on the bench. The best 2 games United have had this season in terms of performances, he was not in the starting lineup.
That's true, but Mina, like I said, I like to just look at take it a game at a time, or just situational. Because would we be saying the same thing last season when he was banging in those goals for us? Ten Hag at no point. That's what I love about Ten Hag's strategy with his players. Even with Maguire, when we were at the point of like West Ham were bidding for him, at no point did he like hint strongly that he wanted players out, because he likes keeping players on board. So that at any one point, if they hit form again, it's easy to just bring them back in. If Rashford hits last season kind of form again, we're going to be forgetting this early season form and all this talk. That's how we are, and that's the truth. Because right now we are still not at the point where we have the players who can consistently give it the kind of performances Ten Hag needs. So right now the best thing for Rashford is to be out of the team. Let him fight for his place like Maguire did. If he can earn his place, let him come back in. If he can't, let him stay out.
But don't you feel like this front line is more? I think this front line.
Currently, yes. Right now, I'd say
yes. Like the Garnacho, Hojlund, Anthony front line is the better option out of anything else that we have at the moment.
I agree. Although I have a comment about that. I still feel like United's front line needs to be a bit more selfless in terms of Hojlund. If you watch when Hojlund plays, Hojlund is like a Haaland type, where he's not really technically gifted, where he's going to, be part of the build-up or anything like that. He just makes runs. He wants the ball played into space to finish it off. So in a system like that, when you have 3 forwards, you need two people to be selfless. Only one of the 3 can be selfish. If you even look at Liverpool the other day, Firmino came out talking about how he had to be the mediator between Salah and Mane.
Yeah.
So he's the guy who was the glue in that attacking lineup. If you look at BBC at the time, Real Madrid, Ronaldo was the selfish guy. Benzema had to take a selfless role. When Ronaldo was at United with the Benzema, with the Tevez and Rooney tridents, Rooney and Tevez had to take a backseat role. Ronaldo was the only one who was allowed to be selfish. So if you
You're
have
saying
a
only one of them can be selfish, either Garnacho or Hojlund or
they need to cross the ball more to Hojlund when he's playing to bring him more into the game. Because
But I
Garnacho
feel like they try to get him involved. I feel like they do try to find him a lot. It just happens that a lot of, for example, yesterday, the second goal McTominay scored, there was two defenders on Hojlund. Two defenders on Hojlund. I just feel like and I think a manager said it, I think it was before the Brentford game early in the season, where they said that they've spent a lot of time watching tape and reviewing Hojlund because of how much of a threat he is, not just, technically, but physically as well. And I just feel as a result of that, that's how McTominay is getting his goals, because Hojlund is taking these defenders out of space, away from the backline, and it's creating a heap of space for McTominay to always run into. It happened, I think, in the Galatasaray game as well. That happened as well. I just think, for me, Hojlund needs to be selfish. That's what I think.
Let me ask you this question, Mina. If Hojlund, we said right now, we've agreed right now our best attacking lineup is the one that started yesterday. So Hojlund, Garnacho, Anthony.
Yeah.
If the three of them were contributing goals like consistently right now, do you think McTominay would be starting?
Yeah, because he's a midfielder. Yeah, he ain't in the attacking line.
Remember the point I was bringing early on about United guys picking things depending on the results.
No, I think
McTominay yesterday, other than his goal, the actual goals he scored and the chances he had, would you say like he had a role in the build up or anything?
No, but his job is
it's been the same performances he's been having, only that there were goals this time around. So had the results not been,
I think his role is clear. I think McTominay's role in the team is clear. He doesn't get involved in build up. If he does, it's just a 1-2 pass. But he is the late crashing into the box midfielder, the midfielder making that late run into the box. That's what he does. That's how he's getting these goals every single time. He's literally getting this, and I don't think he's playing because he's scoring goals. I think this is a tactical decision from Ten Hag. It's not going to work all the time, because I think Ten Hag is so adamant to play this one midfielder, this lone midfielder. That's not going to work in every game realistically. We've seen, against Newcastle, didn't work. We've seen, against other teams, it hasn't worked. But I don't think he's playing just because of the fact that he's scoring goal. I think it's because it's a tactical decision. He's making those late runs into the box, gets his goals like that every single time. Why? Because players, I think, are more focused on defending or marking up against the likes of Hojlund, Bruno, etc. They see Scott McTominay running in, and it's not really a second thought of, let's mark up quickly. That's what I think.
You've made an interesting point. You've mentioned that you don't think 4-3-3 can work. Why do you say that? Is it because of the players we have, or you just think the system can't work?
I think it can work if it's a box-to-box midfielder that's playing in the 4-3-3. McTominay is a defensive liability. As much as he contributes,
that's what I was referring to earlier on when I said that at this point I still think Ten Hag, like I get that he has quite a say in the transfers and all that, but I still think at the end of the day he's not getting the exact players he wants. And if he does get them, he'll get more technical players. Because if you look at Liverpool and City's best teams the past 5, 6, 7 years, the lineup has actually been a 4-3-3.
But it's just that he's got players that work in that system. It's all about, I think, the players that work in that system. But on the last topic, Bournemouth this weekend, just easy. 3 points, no 3 points. What do you think?
I think we can ride the momentum we've had recently, and we can take the 3 points.
3 points,
Believe is something we have to be positive. Put the positivity out there.
Lovely. That's what I want to hear. Positivity. Big up to Matt. Appreciate calling in to stop by and hear your thoughts. Always welcome here, of course, on the channel. Big up to Matt and everybody that's called in thus far. I put the link, in the chat earlier. I don't know how to pin it. So guys, don't ask me why I haven't pinned it. I don't know how to pin it. I'm going to take a few more people before we wrap it up. Of course, football's about to kick off in a bit as well. Who's playing today? I know Everton's playing because I hope Everton win. They're playing Newcastle, a very exhausted Newcastle, and then West Ham versus Spurs. Oh, that's two boring games. No offense to Kadeem, big up to Kadeem in the chat. I hope Everton can get a result for you. Of course, you need lessons from KG. I know how to pin it. I have to go onto. Do I have to go onto here and pin it? There you go. I pinned it. I don't need lessons. I know how to pin it. I've pinned it, I think. Yeah, I've pinned it. But big up to everyone that's locked in. If you've just stopped by, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the like button. If you've just stopped by, you lot know the rules. You come in, you wipe your feet, you hit the like button. If you want to become a member, it was the pinned comment in the chat, but it's not the pinned comment anymore. But link in the bio, you can become a member. You can get badges, you can get your emojis, you get your custom member-only content, and of course, you get to support the growth of the channel because the channel is growing. If you have Twitch or if you don't have Twitch, I'll be on stream later tonight and tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday night. Basically every night I will be live on Twitch playing Warzone because the new Warzone season is out. So I'll be playing. So be sure to come over there to my Twitch. Link is in the bio below, or if you want to go to the community tab on YouTube, it's also there as well. So, you know, we can vibe there as well as here on the channel. Kadeem says, I would say 1-0 for the Blues. Very confident in Everton. And you know what? Big up to Everton, you know, because they've managed to turn it around. They've managed to turn it around. Twanda says, Ten Hag has to go. It's time for Carrick. This is what I don't understand, guys. This is what, like, I respect everybody's opinions and views, but I just don't get how we can say, or people say we want Ten Hag out, but then the manager that you want to replace them with is someone that hasn't won any silverware. Like, the whole argument people have about Ten Hag is that he's only won things in the Dutch league. That's the whole argument I always see. So how can you just want Michael Carrick, who is very prematurely, I would say, into his career, into his coaching career? Why would you want him immediately? It's like saying I want Wayne Rooney. Tell Wayne Rooney to come be, or McKenna. People are prematurely into their coaching career. Why would you want them to be to come in and be the manager? Mina, do you play Fortnite? I played my first game the other day. I played a solo game. I don't know how to play it, by the way, so I'm learning. So I'm learning how to play it because I want to play it and I want to stream it. But I play Warzone more, guys. I'm a proper more of a Warzone player. Kadeem says, I have Twitch. I'm going to make you mod on Twitch straight after the stream. I've made 2 people mods already, and I'm looking for more mods. So if you want to be mod, let me know. But honestly, I need to go back to that comment. I get it. If you said to me, I'm Ten Hag out, and, you know, you said I want someone else like, I don't know, Ancelotti or something. Okay, cool. Proven winner. I would be like, you know what, respect it, you know. But saying that, yeah, let Carrick develop his career first as a coach. Don't get me wrong. I think I followed Middlesbrough a bit last year because I followed Championship quite a lot, and I was following Middlesbrough a bit, and I was impressed with Carrick. But at no point did I think I want him to be the manager right now of Manchester United. I did think maybe, you know, what a homecoming it would be 10 years from now if he becomes the manager. But I didn't think I didn't think right now he needs to be manager. I didn't think that at any point because I thought let him develop his career like every other coach, young coach, or that's in early points of their career. You know, McKenna's doing a great job at Ipswich. You're not going to see me saying bring in McKenna. You're not going to see me saying that. Man that are Ten Hag out are single people. They need to learn to give people time to develop their relationship and start ending errors. You heard what Ten Hag said, man. What did he say? Every era comes to an end. Carrick is a good young manager. He's talented. Of course, I think he's a good young manager. I think he will only learn more, especially after his first managerial job. Give him some time to, you know, go either abroad. Don't get me wrong. Remember, Gary Neville, clown of a manager. He went to, where was it? Valencia he was manager, and he lost how many games in a row? I think it was Valencia. Let Michael Carrick have his time at Middlesbrough. Let him have a time in a top flight league. Don't get me wrong. I think being a Championship manager is difficult. It's maybe not as difficult as Premier League, but it's a competitive league. You know, Championship is probably the most competitive out of all the other kind of second leagues in Europe, basically. I hope that makes sense. But one thing I will say is that if Carrick has a good time at Middlesbrough, say he takes them to a promotion final or he gets them promoted, then he either A, keeps them in the Prem, or B, goes on to coach at a senior team. Let him gain that experience. I told you, I love a good homecoming story in it. I love a good homecoming story. Let him come home one day, 10 years, 5 years from now, however long, and coach Manchester United. Next, call it in. Big up to Adil in the cut. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Firstly, are you Ten Hag in and Ten Hag out? I feel like I have to clarify that before we
That's
get
such a
into it.
crazy question to ask. Like, seriously, the guy's only been here for what, 2 seasons? And in the first season, man overachieved. I think that's his ultimate like bad thing against him is the fact that he had a really good first season. Like nobody really was expecting 2 finals and a cup and top three all in one. I think if he only made top three and then right now people would be a lot more optimistic that we're going to be developing and stuff. But yeah, man, 10 again and long may it continue.
What do you think of yesterday's game in terms of United turning a corner? I would say maybe turning a corner, especially with like the media leaks and all the drama in the last couple of days. What do you think of the performance and the 3 points?
28 chances. Yeah, I'm buzzing. Like literally, you could see what he was trying to do: win the ball high, and press as much get as many shots on as you can. Like had Hojlund had his scoring boots on, and if he ever finds him, maybe then like we can start seeing like 3 or 4 nails, and we being comfortable in games. That's the honest thing I believe we're missing is right now being clinical enough to finish people off with the chances that we get. Anthony's starting to do his thing. Rashford being on the bench is the best thing that's happened to United lately. Like literally, man needed to sit down. Like literally, take a break.
So do you think United are better off without him in the starting team?
See, the thing is, I hate people that don't put effort into it. It's like that I can't stand as a United fan. If like what he did at Newcastle is still unforgivable to me. Like I wouldn't even put him on in the what was it 6-7 minutes that he was given.
Yeah.
I would not have even given him that last game. Like literally, mate, you're gonna sit on the bench. I'm never gonna see that. As far as bringing him back, I want him to bring him on 70, 80 minutes when we need him to give him that chance. That is he gonna score, and he needs to score and outshine. I'd say he needs that moment again. I know we're kind of like moments FC, and it's not really the best thing. You want to have a system in place, but right now for him to get back, he needs to. I'd say the writings on the wall, probably Bayern Munich. Like I wouldn't want him back.
I don't know if Champions League, if he drops in for Champions League, I think that's a big statement. I think that's a big statement.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he needs to give him some sort of chance and rotation as well, because we are playing quite a few games, you see. And with all the injuries that we had, we can't really afford anymore. But, I mean, I'm still waiting on any update on Leacher. When's he coming back? Because he was training, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, there's no update on him, but I saw today that Amad Diallo is back training with the first team. So that's another attacking option that not only Ten Hag gets another option in attacking, but that's another person that Rashford's going to be challenging for a spot. That's another person. So if Rashford doesn't come on and play 10 out of 10 every time he plays, I don't think there's any way back into the team. Like he needs his shooting boots and his discipline to be 10 out of 10.
Definitely, but where do you see Diallo playing though? Like I was thinking more of giving Bruno some break and putting him in that position, but he did play more of the right, didn't he?
Yeah, when I was watching him at Sunderland last year, he was playing a lot on the right, but not like similar to Anthony in terms of like the half space. He likes to go into that little half space between the 10 and the right hand side. He's not like a touchline winger, but he can utilize that. And the thing is he's not one-on-one. He reminds me a bit of Anthony. He does take on a man. He does beat him sometimes. But for me, it's his dribbling, 10 out of 10. His technical ability in terms of keeping the ball close at his feet, similar to Anthony, 10 out of 10. And I think what he had to work on at Sunderland was his defensive side of football, which he wasn't that good at. And he worked on it at Sunderland. So for me, it'll be interesting to see him get a few games experience, because it's safe to say for me that Pellistri he's not the answer to the right hand side. I don't think Pellistri is the answer to the right hand side, if I'm being honest. From the games that he's had opportunity for, I don't think so. Amad, on top of Pellistri, Anthony, Rashford is now going to be challenging for that right. I think it's a good problem to have because it's alternatives.
Definitely a good problem, but I still don't think kind of still feel bad for Pellistri because I still don't believe he's had his fair run of games. Like, had he had like 2 or 3, I don't think the guy's had a back-to-back like game, has he, since he's been here?
No, I don't
Like,
think he got dropped straight
so
after the Bayern game, and then we never saw him again.
exactly. So can't really say that. And plus, in Uruguay, he's kind of always playing there, and he looks pretty good there. I don't know. I just think that he might not fit the mold, but definitely wanted to see Ahmad there. But I don't know when do you think he would actually bring him into the fit? Like looking at the games, because look at we got Liverpool, Bayern. Like, where would you actually bring him in?
I think he might get a chance, maybe like FA Cup against Wigan in January. I think maybe at best, because when you come back to first team training, I think you have to play for a couple weeks in training before you even get onto the bench. So I think that's what's going to happen. It'll be interesting to see if he gets like a. Kobe came straight after, I think he was in training for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, and he was playing with the academy team at the same time. Then he came straight back into the lineup, not even into the bench. I don't think Ahmad is rated like that by the manager for him to come straight into the starting lineup. But I think he will come on to the bench maybe like January times. I think maybe January times he'll be a bench option. But quickly before we wrap it up, 3 games coming up. The next 3 games, we got what? Bournemouth, Bayern, Liverpool. Obviously, everyone's talking about Liverpool, Bayern. What do you think is going to happen? And
Win.
Win.
Win. That's all I'm seeing right now. Like, literally, things have changed. You can say it with your chest. Bournemouth are getting slapped up. Bayern, they're going to play the B team anyway. So I'm hoping Hojlund can do his thing. Oh, you know what? Would you put Bayern there in that last game for the Champions League? Because it doesn't really mean much. And he's going to be going to AFCON soon. So would you give Bayern there a shot?
I mean, it would be good for Bayern to start getting some playing time. Imagine he comes in when AFCON starts and he's making mistakes because he ain't played in how long? He's been playing with Turkey, I know, when he got during the international break. But for me, it's like it would be nice for him to get some squad time, because if Onana goes away for AFCON, you can't just throw Bayern into the deep end.
Yeah, so I'm thinking he's gonna bring him on, but yeah, Liverpool is on. I'm telling you, we're all feeling it, but say it with your chest, we're gonna beat them. Look at this, conceding so many goals. They got no Alisson. I'm telling you, Mina, like literally, we're beating them. 10 out this month. I'm not gonna say title charge, but if we get these 3 jobs, it's on. I'm telling you, top 3 and FA Cup in our that'll be a good season for me. Like
Big up
top
to Adil.
3.
He's on. Adil, you're on crack. You are on crack right now. You are on more than crack.
No,
I think more than crack.
KG's infectious. Like, I've been watching too much of his shows, and even my missus is like, "Yo, you need to chill out." I'm like, "Nah." Like, we've got a good dub, a good performance. Like, and the thing is, why I'm so buzzing about it is because we got like against the world. Media's been banned. You know, them 4 reporters had it pre-written. ChatGPT that Ten Hag's gonna be out. Ten Hag sacking. He's gone to dressing room. They had it all pre-written because they were expecting us to lose. And guess what? We turned up. Not only we turned up, we gave them a performance. They had no room to talk. That's what's the best thing about it. So, yeah, man, I'm buzzing about it. But onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards, man. Big up to Adil. Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate it. He says delusion is real. Even Marcel isn't on this level. Apparently said Jim ain't coming in this week. I know he was meant to be announced this week, but now they're saying probably a couple more weeks. It could be all the way until the transfer window. What the hell? That is a long... How are you going from coming in this week to now suddenly saying that it could not happen maybe until after the transfer window? They're saying maybe after the Christmas break, or could push the announcement into the new year. If that's their way of saying United, maybe that's why Ten Hag actually said that they weren't buying anyone. He wasn't expecting to buy anyone in this in the next window. Maybe that's why. And we got another caller in. Big up to Koala, my favorite menace to society. I hope you can hear me. No, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. First and foremost, are you Ten Hag in or are you Ten Hag out?
I am Glazers out. Glazers out of this club.
But are you Ten Hag in or are you Ten Hag out?
I'm Ten Hag out.
You're Ten Hag out. Okay, let's talk about yesterday's game. And how do you feel like the manager, the lineup that he put out, number one, what did you think of it? And also, what did you just think of the performance in general? Do you think it was a good performance, good 3 points, or is it's just papering over the cracks like a lot of people are saying?
I think we papered over the cracks, and Chelsea were okay. I think Amrabat is not a bad player to begin with, but I don't think he's good enough. So
Why do
I
you
think
think?
in the midfield, if Chelsea had Conor Gallagher, because I know Ten Hag wants to play a lone six, and he's not going to change that formation. We're going to cry for Kobe, Amrabat, but it's not going to happen. And if we know Dutch managers, they're very stubborn, very, very stubborn. So I think Eric Ten Hag is going to sack himself. I don't even want to say Eric Ten Hag. I think he's going to do it for us. And for real, I think he's going to do it for us.
Why are you saying us? Don't put me in the same. Don't put me in the same bracket. Don't put me in the same bracket.
No,
Why?
not you.
Why
I'm
don't you
saying
think? Why don't you think you'll be
I'm
able to turn it around?
okay. He's not a good man manager. For the you actually told us about Varane and you called him some Arabic word. I don't know what he is, but
Oh,
how do you
miskin.
fall out with Varane? Yeah, how do you fall out with Varane?
That's true. That's
It's
a
like
valid
when
question.
like when I said, how is Sajim making Nice look bad? It's very, like a club is called Nice and he's making it look bad, and that's the guy who want to take over the club 25%. This
So you
club
think
is
Ten Hag is
done.
not-
This club is done, and I think the only way we're going to solve this is player out, Glazers out, Eric Ten Hag out.
Someone in the chat said, "Who should replace Eric Ten Hag?" Then who would you want to replace Ten Hag if Ten Hag was to leave?
Uh, I was going on the direction of Simeone, but you're not going to get Simeone because I know the Glazers and I know how they run. Look,
Come on,
let me look.
He's never coming to United. He's never coming to United. He would never
I
be.
know.
That's just delusional.
Okay, no,
That's
I'm
just
saying we
delusional.
need a
They call
manager
it
who's
sin bin.
pragmatic.
They call it sin bin in the chat. They're saying this guy's not serious.
No, I'm saying a manager that's the type of Diego Simeone because the players we have, because I know the Glazers, I know the systems we have in place. Richard Arnold is not going anywhere. They lied to us because Ajim is taking another 8 weeks to come in. And I'm suspecting it's not going to happen. We know this club, how it's run. So the Glazers are not going to sacrifice the players over a manager who is expandable.
All right, so you still haven't answered the question. Who would you want to come in if Ten Hag leaves? No, don't say Simeone because that's that's never going to happen. But a realistic answer.
I would say someone like Carlo Ancelotti.
Every Ten Hag out person, they say Ancelotti. Because what is every Ten Hag out person? If you say to them, "Who do you want?" they say Ancelotti. Every single one of them. Are you guys all in a group chat together? Every Ten Hag out person in the world, and you all agreed to say Ancelotti as the answer as the managerial replacement every single time. Everyone keeps saying that. Everyone keeps saying that. And you're laughing because you know I'm telling the truth.
No. Listen, I know people are scared because they don't know what's going to happen next with Eric Ten Hag leaving. But I'm telling you right now, he's leaving. He's going. Look, he's going to get sacked.
Okay.
Mina,
okay.
Okay, Mina, let me ask you something. We know the Premier League. We've known it for years. Sir Alex used to play two or three midfielders. Everyone in this league knows that the midfield in this league is where you win all your games. And Eric Ten Hag is coming with a lone six midfield.
You're talking to me about what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do. Football has moved on from that.
Yeah, I'm saying all the managers. Yeah. It's changed, but I think from his templates, all the managers evolved to that.
Liverpool play McAllister as a lone midfielder.
No, he has help from Gravenberch and Szoboszlai.
Are you saying to me that is the problem that Ten Hag has Amrabat, for example, playing as a lone midfielder and the other midfielders are not supporting, or is the problem that Eric Ten Hag is telling these other midfielders to stay up, because I don't think he's telling them to stay up. They get back defensively. If you use the same logic that Liverpool are playing McAllister as a lone midfielder and he gets help from Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, Amrabat, the other midfielders get back. They defend. So technically, he's not playing a lone midfielder. If I'm going by your logic, because you're saying every club is playing, you know, they know the midfield is where it's won in the Premier League, but not everyone is playing. You know, I see Villa playing Babakor Kamara as a lone midfielder.
Yeah, but he has Douglas Luiz next to him.
He has Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, like both of them have defensive-minded traits.
Okay, let me ask you a
swap
question.
them.
Let me ask you a question. Were you disappointed that United won yesterday? Oh, radio silence. Oh, I think we've lost him. Or he's playing a prank and he's just gone mute. I think he's gone quiet. Yeah, I think he's gone quiet. The only reason why I had to ask him that, guys, is because, you know, it seems like a lot of people who are Ten Hag out or maybe want the manager out, they seem a bit aggravated that United won yesterday. They seem a bit aggravated. I know that they don't want us to win. Oh, wait, he's back. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Was it my side?
Yeah, I think it was your side. I think it's that internet in East Africa.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is, were you disappointed that United won yesterday?
I was not actually. I was very happy because we beat Chelsea. That's just how I feel. I was happy that we beat Chelsea, but how we played, because okay, dominate a game, but how we get countered is what scares me. That's what scares me a lot. And I think the way Ten Hag is setting us up, I'm scared of this team actually. Because if you had someone like Varane there, we'd be I'd feel more comfortable with Varane in the defensive part, but he has Maguire and Lindelof. These guys are only guys.
Good. But Maguire is playing good.
Yeah, because we're playing, you know, it's like we're playing like a relegation team. Getting the points we have, the points that are there, we take them. If you get a game, it's game by game, like you are Sheffield United. We are Manchester United. We are Manchester United. And you know, and I think we just need a manager who's a good manager who understands the players that are at the club, who plays them to their strengths. Because if you know the Glazers and all, they're not going to sell Rashford. We can cry. We can even camp outside Old Trafford. We can do protests. We can stay at the stadium. We can do all that. I can fly out from East Africa and come to UK and protest. Rashford will still stay at the club. And that's why I'm saying you don't fall out with the players. You play them to their strengths. Play the counter-attacking system. Don't try anything new, because at the end of the day, he's going to get sacked using his tactics. Last season, we won a trophy and third. We didn't play well, but he got the results.
Okay, so
if
let me ask
you.
you
Do that, I'm okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question before I got another caller, but 3 games that we got coming up, yeah?
Yeah.
Someone in the chat just said all uncles are funny. I don't think Koala's an uncle, guys. I don't think Koala's an uncle. I think he's a young person.
Yeah,
they're saying you're an uncle. They're saying you're an uncle. But 3 games, obviously, we've got Bournemouth, Bayern, Liverpool. Do you have faith in the team that they can see these games out and put up a fight?
I think, okay, me for one, I like Mctominay because most people hate him, but I call him the Scottish Kaka. This guy is a second striker. This guy is a second striker. If you're Mourinho, look, Mourinho, no. Mourinho ruined our players. Mourinho said Pogba is a centre back. Pogba is a centre back. Mourinho turned Mctominay from an attacking midfielder to a CDM. Even if you ask Sir Alex, he knows that Mctominay is an 8.
So do you think that Ten Hag is playing Mctominay to his strengths right now?
Yeah, he is. But he's weakening us in the midfield. And it doesn't matter how many goals he scores or how many times he gets a chance to score. as long as every goal we score, they're going to equalize with that midfield. Unless he wants to drop Bruno, put a Kobe Mino and an Amrabat, I'm
So
okay
you
with
would
that.
rather, so you want Bruno to get dropped and McTominay to play as the second striker, basically, and
Yeah.
have two midfielders. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because Hojlund cannot score like he's not like say a traditional number 9. He likes to like hold the ball back against the defenders, back to goal in shot. So I think McTominay is that guy who's going to finish the chances at this rate, because Bruno is not making the runs that he used to. People say he's dominating midfield. I think he's just giving the ball away and making some very I don't like Bruno Fernandes. And I don't know this type.
I gathered when you said that you would rather drop Bruno over McTominay.
I would rather like Mason Mount is better than Bruno Fernandes. If you want to play the Erik ten Hag way, Mason Mount is better than Bruno.
Koala, you have to go for that, man. I'm sorry. There's next whatever's in the air in Kenya. Please let me know.
No.
Let me know what's in the air in Kenya. I have to give Koala a timeout. Because he's saying Mason Mount, the guy that can't even stay fit, is better than Bruno. And I know I got another caller on the line, and I know that caller does not like Mason Mount. So I'm gonna bring him in because I want to hear what he has to say about A, the game, and B, what Koala just said about Mason Mount being better than Bruno. That's wild. Big up to Show in the building. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Listen, firstly, did you just hear what Koala said about Mason Mount being
Listen, there's many things Koala said that I'm trying to kind of just even compute in my brain before I can kind of respond to it. So I think it's better if we just leave Koala's thoughts alone. Maybe put them in a box and just leave it, because when I heard the word Scottish caca, then I just thought, nah, there's no point kind of responding to that. You know what I'm saying? So
I hear it. But what do you think of the performance yesterday and the game just in general? Do you think it was flattering, the scoreline to Chelsea? Do you think that United should have had more?
yeah, 100%. Look, it's a balancing act. It's so hard nowadays, because it's like, even when we win, people try and well, I've done it myself, so I can't even say, because I did it with the Everton when I said we didn't deserve it. But the performance yesterday, even though we only won 2-1, it was definitely flattering to Chelsea, because look at the chances we had, especially in the first half. You know what I mean? And look, I said to Owen yesterday, the difference yesterday was you could see the effort. That's it. And I know how sad it sounds, because that's how low the standards are nowadays with United. But because everyone always says effort is a given, you know, Roy Keane would always say, look, it's their job. You know what I'm saying? But look, we don't see it often. That's the sad thing, isn't it? We haven't seen it a lot this season. You know what I'm saying? So look, I was speaking to that United fan today, and we were saying, look, even if we play like that at Liverpool next weekend, you know, most likely, you know, if you look at the probability, you probably, because they're a better team than us. But at least if we play like that, if we lose, we can take it. At least I feel like at least the sensible fans can say, you know what, we went to Anfield, we played, but they're better than us. Okay, cool. We'll take our licks next game. But if we play like Newcastle, like we did at Newcastle at Anfield, and then get slapped again, then we're not going to take it. So
I agree.
You know,
what do you think about the front line without Rashford?
it's clear. Look, for me, it's so clear that we're just a better team without Rashford. Not just Rashford, Martial as well. Because it was let's not just marginalize Rashford. They were both dropped, and from them both being dropped, because they both don't press, it was clear our press from the front was the best I've seen this season by a country mile. Look how well we won the ball up the pitch. They couldn't play out. I mean, Chelsea aren't the greatest team playing out from the back anyway, but that a lot of that yesterday was due to us. How many times did Sanchez kick it out of play because of us? Thiago Silva's normally good on the ball. He kept kicking it out of play. I mean, look, so I think it's clear without Rashford, we're just a better team, because he's not willing to do the dog work off the ball. Neither is Martial. Well, Martial don't really have the legs for it anymore anyway. Even if number one, Martial's attitude is shit anyway, as is Rashford's. But they both don't want to. Martial's incapable of doing it. Rashford could do it because he has the legs, but he won't do it. So it's best to drop them both. And look, I'm not Anthony's biggest fan. I don't think I ever will be. But
He's
least the one.
He's playing better.
Yeah, he's playing. Look, he's playing better, but obviously, again, he's another one. His standards very low. You know what I mean? Because a guy who scored 2 goals from his last 90 shots or something, you don't have much standards. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I can appreciate about Anthony is that no matter how bad he's playing, he always keeps going. That's the thing. That's the thing about Anthony. Rashford doesn't do that. If Rashford's playing bad, he sulks.
It's true.
But when Anthony plays bad, he'll keep trying. Like yesterday, his end product was poor, but he kept going. That's what I can appreciate about him. That's the difference between him and someone like a Rashford or Martial. He doesn't sulk. I've never seen Anthony sulk. That's the one big credit I can give him. Even Hojlund's having a rough time of it at the moment, but he doesn't sulk. He does keep going. Garnacho's the same. Garnacho was, tanked out by the end. You see how tired it was, but
yeah, he looked exhausted. I thought he was going to come off at some point. When it was that 70th minute, I thought he was going to get taken off because he looked exhausted. But he was still running. He was still pressing. When he lost the ball, he was trying to win it back. And that's what you appreciate. It's the small stuff. It's the bare minimum. I think, anyways. I think it's the bare minimum.
Yeah, it is the bare minimum. But like I said earlier, it's the sad thing is, we don't see it a lot. So that's so when we see it, when I saw it yesterday, I'll be honest, I haven't enjoyed watching United for many years now. It's not just a Ten Hag thing. It's just I don't look forward to games. That's just me. I don't look forward to games, yeah? But yesterday I was watching it. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying watching United. That's all it, for me, all it is my main thing from wanting Ten Hag in the first. I was a massive Ten Hag from even when he was hired, yeah? Because my thing was, forget winning titles or whatever, because that's a lot to do with the ownership, yeah? But my thing is playing identity-wise, I thought I was going to get exciting football from Ten Hag. And that's for me, number one thing for me, because I want to enjoy watching United again.
Are you Ten Hag in or are you Ten Hag out?
Ten Hag in 100%. It wouldn't matter who the manager was, I'd be the manager in, because my main thing...
I respect that.
My main thing right now is, I don't care how bad we get. I want to get these players out of the club. I want to get these players, and our best hope of getting these players out of the club is keeping the manager. Because what a lot of people don't realize is, if we get rid of the manager, all these players get a clean slate again. Mctominay ain't gonna leave this summer. Maguire wouldn't leave this summer. The new manager will come in and the club will say, "Oh, Donny's gonna get a fresh chance." You know what I mean? You're gonna hear bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of these fans who think, "Oh, if we just get Ten Hag out, get the new manager in, the new manager will get these players to cook," as these kids say nowadays. Yeah, and it's football, and we may get a new manager bounce. Yeah, for half a season, but then the players will revert to what we've seen this season. It's the same cycle. We'll be here again in 2025 with the new manager. So it's not, it's we need to break the cycle. Why do the fans want to see a sixth manager in 10 years? That's nuts to me. I don't get that.
Yeah, that to me, that is crazy when you put it like that. And I say it all the time, that having so many, somebody said in the chat, sorry, this actually distracted me. Someone said you look like Sergio Romero.
I look like Sergio Romero.
In your profile picture.
I don't think I mean, it's a compliment. I don't. Yeah, I'll take it as a compliment.
It's not an insult.
I don't think I look anything like him. By the way, I think if you actually saw me on camera, I really don't look like him. But I'll take it, man.
But in terms of the next 3 games, obviously you mentioned before, we got Liverpool, we got Bayern. Do you think United can they kind of keep this going consistently? Because I think the difficult thing with United this season is being consistent in performances game after game. Last season, we had a long run of that. And once United hit a bumper, they kind of started to have different performances game in, game out. But do you think this could be the turning point? Because a lot of people are saying December is make or break for the manager.
I mean, look, I think had we lost yesterday, I think it would have ramped up the pressure. I kind of think now, because we won yesterday, if we beat Bournemouth, Bayern's kind of Bayern's a weird game because we've got such a low chance of going through anyway. I don't know if it matters losing that game. Yeah. I think even if we lose to Liverpool, I still think his job would be safe because we haven't really heard anything come out of the club that he's under pressure. You know what I mean?
But past managers has been like, I think every manager at United, most of them have been sacked after a Liverpool game.
But there's been a number of
bad results leading up to that game. That's been the I think for example, when Oli got sacked, there was like we lost 4-2 to Leicester, and then 5-0 to Liverpool, and then 4-1 to it was 3 batterings in the space of a month. To be fair, Ten Hag hasn't really had that. So I think even if we were to have a heavy defeat at Liverpool, I feel like there is an understanding within the club now that they need to keep the man. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm being naive, but that's the way I see it. I think had we lost to Chelsea and then maybe drawn at home to Bournemouth and then got battered at Liverpool, then I think it'd be different. But I think we can beat Bournemouth this week, and funnily enough, we're playing.
I expect us to beat Bournemouth.
Yeah, 100%. Look, home to Bournemouth is unacceptable even if we draw, right? But I mean, funnily enough, we're playing Bournemouth banging form. I think they've got 4 wins in 5, so they're going to be coming here. They're playing well now under the new manager. They've really, but still, it's Bournemouth. You know what I mean? So we've got to win that. I'll be honest, I really don't care about the Bayern game. I don't.
Same.
I don't care.
I feel like when the ball is in the court of another team, expect it. We have to get they have to get a draw between Copenhagen and Galatasaray.
Yeah,
Both
exactly.
of them want to win because whoever wins out of that game basically goes through. So it's like too many if buts maybes.
Exactly. It's one of them. Maybe we should play well in that game to at least go into the Liverpool game with some momentum. Maybe we should see it that way. But I really don't think it has a bearing on the Liverpool game either way. But that Anfield will be a big, it'd be a big test. I mean, how do I say it? We'll see what this team is. Can they play like they did yesterday? Because let's be honest, Chelsea, we played well yesterday, but Chelsea let us play. Let's be honest, the kind of space they gave us, you don't get space at Anfield. We know this. You know what I mean? So you got to earn the right to play there. So I think, and I mean, look, I'll be honest, I still don't have that high hopes of the Liverpool game. Just because there's such a big standard difference between the two clubs. But if we go into that game, Chelsea win, Bournemouth win, let's just say we beat Bayern at home, then 3 wins on the bounce. That'll be what? Then that'll also be, I think, 7 wins in 8 or 6 wins in 7. So we'll be going to that game kind of bit of form. It's just that you never know factor. That's it. But regardless of whether we lose at Liverpool or not, you know what I mean? I'm never. It doesn't matter how bad it gets this season. I'm not going to say Ten Hag out because it's just for me. I want my main aim as a fan next summer. I'm wanting to see player sales. That's it. And my best bet as a fan to do that.
Who do you? Let's wrap it up on this note. Who do you want to sell in the summer?
Regardless of whether Maguire has a good season or not, he needs to go in the summer.
I think this will drive up his price as well.
Yeah, it's time for us to move on these players and stop doing this remontada thing that fans are so obsessed with. Yeah, I don't care how many goals McTominay scores this season. Sell him in the summer. Yeah, Donny needs to go. Lindelof needs to go. Wan-Bissaka needs to go. You know what I mean? Wan-Bissaka, I've never been a fan of him ever.
I think he's out of contract this summer as well.
Well, thank goodness then. You know what I mean? No need to give him a new contract. Let him leave. Players like Lindelof, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Donny, when I see Martial go, that'd be a great day for everyone.
He'll leave on a free, I think. If they don't sell him in January, I think he's gone on a free.
Even free is too much for Martial. That's the you know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, it'd be a great day for everyone when he leaves. Me personally, I think a big decision is going to have to be made on Rashford in the summer. That's what I feel like. I don't see the club selling him, but I just think the way he's going, I don't see how he recovers. I don't. I'll be honest. That's a great list that person's put up actually. Yeah.
Maguire, Donny, Eriksen.
I agree with all of those. Yeah, I forgot about Eriksen just because he's been injured so long. Yeah, Eriksen, come on. I mean, Eriksen, let's be honest, for free, we've got a lot out of him, but we need better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all it is. We need to get rid of these players, man. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm optimistic by saying that I want Wan-Bissaka to leave because I know,
I don't think he'll leave. Yeah, I think. But to be honest, Dalot with a new contract, I think I wouldn't be shocked if Wan-Bissaka.
Even Dalot, I don't rate though.
I don't rate Dalot either. I said this. I say it all the time. Some people in the chat say that I'm scapegoated when I say that I don't rate Dalot. But I think if Dalot, because he's got a contract extension, it's more likely Wan-Bissaka was to leave and we'd probably get another right back in. I think that's the more likely.
I mean, listen, long term, I don't even think Bruno's the right fit for the number 10 position. But I just think, to me, I understand why people criticize Bruno. But for me, there's players you need to get rid of before you get rid of Bruno. Like, I would never say Bruno needs to be the first one to go when you still got players like Donny here. That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even Bruno's biggest fan sometimes in big games. I feel like in big games he hides. So, but I would never get rid of Bruno while Martial and Donny and Eriksson and Lindelof are still here. That's weird. That I can't compute that in my head. But
is there any players that you think United should bring in, or any positions that United should bring in?
Oh, many positions. Look, we need centre backs. It's quite obvious we need a new right centre back. For me, we need a new left back.
You don't think Luke Shaw's the answer to the left?
Don't get me started on Luke Shaw. Like, for me, Luke Shaw is the biggest fraud at the club.
Damn.
I've never rated Luke Shaw. I've never rated Luke like. Mina, it's his 10th season at the club. People forget this, you know.
I do forget that he's been here for
10 years. He's gonna be testimonial settings with Luke Shaw. He don't deserve a testimonial. He doesn't. Look at the great players we've given testimonials to. Great legend players, and he's gonna get man. We need a new left back. You could argue we might need a new central midfield completely. You know what I mean? Saying because Casemiro is gonna go, it looks like he's gonna go. It looks like you know what I mean. Again, the jury's out on Anthony. We need a new right. This is the thing. We definitely need a new striker to support Hojlund because I think there's too much pressure on him. So it's like you're talking about the spine of the team almost, and even Onana. What if Onana keeps making mistakes? This is the other thing.
I believe in Onana. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he'll come good as well, but some of the things I see from him, it is a bit mad. We can't lie.
I think he needs a goalkeeper coach to Ricardo Carvalho was working with Harry Maguire in the summer, yeah. And it shows. Maybe someone like, I don't know, man, Schmeichel or someone needs to work with Onana because.
But I was watching. I can't remember. It was like a 90-minute podcast, and one of the guys on there was saying that Onana's diving technique was actually pointed out. Yeah, when it was pointed out at Ajax when he was like a young player, and he basically said, "I ain't gonna change it." But they said, "Listen, you need to change it because it's wrong. Like you're gonna make mistakes, and you can see it. Like it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at him, even when he makes a save, you're like, it doesn't look human-like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I yesterday's goal, for example, I feel like he dived too early. He dived from the position that he was already in, and I think he would have had time to step to the left, maybe 1 or 2 steps, and then dive. He would have more likely been able to get on the end of it. Because I don't think he should have conceded that goal yesterday. I think it was. I don't think so.
He was. Yeah.
He should have conceded it.
He was on the floor halfway through the shot, and then he was trying to like crawl across the floor to then. It's a bit. Yeah, he's a funny keeper, and obviously like Culture Cam says, the high top doesn't help. So that's the other thing, isn't it? So, but it'll be the other thing that'll be interesting is that what I don't get right now is that we haven't given Bayindi a single game, and I don't know if there's like some denial in the club that after AFCON is not going to happen. I don't know. It's weird to me. Like Onana's going, right? Have I got something completely wrong?
No, he is going. Cameroon aren't going to call him up. Apparently, Onana said he would have been a police officer if he was not a goalkeeper.
That makes sense. I get it. I can see him as a police officer. I can see him chasing man down the street. You know, I really can. And then
it don't make sense because in the Carabao Cup we played Tom Heaton.
No, we didn't though.
Did they play in the first game?
Onana's played every game.
I thought for some reason I swear I saw Tom Heaton playing. Maybe I was.
No, Onana played against Palace and against Newcastle.
Sorry, okay, guys, I just lied to you lot because I genuinely thought that.
Yeah, this is the thing. He's played every single game this season. It's crazy.
Yeah, he did play.
Yeah, so it's like randomly. Yeah, so randomly in the Premier League, you were just going to see Bayindi coming for his debut at what? Like, you know what? That's true,
They said you wouldn't catch that.
Yeah, it's true. He dived too early again.
But Indes, I think it's unfortunate for him because he obviously came here with the impression that he'd be a rotating goalkeeper. I mean, you look at Arsenal, for example, brought in Ramsdale, clumsy goalkeeper, replacing him with Raya, who for me is just equally as clumsy.
I don't think he's better than Ramsdale. Yeah, it's weird.
I
It's a
think
weird
they're
one.
both as bad as each other, but I just think that I feel like Raya has less kind of criticism on him because he's new. He's only been here for a couple months.
No, I agree.
Ramsdale, and also Ramsdale don't help himself because he's doing podcasts every couple of weeks. He's appearing on podcasts.
I'll be real, man. It's these British players, yeah. They can't keep their mouth shut.
You know what it is? I'll be honest. From what I've seen in like the football world and especially like, the media world, a lot of them care about their media presence and
Look at Rashford. Rashford. When Rashford starts sulking, his whole extended family starts talking. You know what I mean? Maguire's the same. Maguire's brother, cousin, Maguire's nephew comes out, starts talking. Like it's all mad with these British players, man. But don't you think, Mina, the standard of goalkeeping in general in modern football is so bad?
Everyone's so obsessed with these passing out from the back. Give me a goalkeeper that does the basics, that does the shot stopping.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way I see it, like don't get me wrong, I wanted De Gea gone in the summer, yeah, because he just declined so much. But I look at like Alisson, yeah, and for me, there's not a single keeper in the world that's like anywhere like near his level. Like I think he's so clear.
Yeah, I think Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world. And also what I think about the David De Gea thing, I remember like me last year, I was very like I had my decision done on David De Gea, but when the transfer window started and I saw the prices, Onana, Hojlund, all of that kind of stuff, I said it ages ago. I would have happily taken De Gea for another season if United had a goal scorer.
For me,
we're begging Hojlund to score a Premier League goal.
I get it, but honestly, for me, yeah, I couldn't watch that guy for another season. It was doing my head in last year. De Gea, like honestly, I wanted him gone so like I couldn't watch that guy for another year.
Do you think if he goes to Newcastle, like he's rumored to go to Newcastle, maybe if
he'll make mistakes. Don't worry.
Do you think that's not a Manchester United legend?
For me, De Gea is not a legend.
Oh wow, he's not. Why not?
Because look, unless you're creating tiers within legend, if you're saying he's a legend, is he not on the same level as Schmeichel Van der Sar? Is that not what you're saying?
No, I think there's levels to legend.
Oh, that's fair enough then. But some people might not say that. If you have tiers within legends like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, you can call him like a tier 8 legend or something. You know what I'm saying?
8.
But
what are you saying? Like, are you saying? You know what? A lot of the players I was about to name, they've won multiple Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues with United. So I was gonna say, is he like I love Park Ji-sung in it. So I was gonna say, is he more of a legend?
Park Ji-sung for me is a cult hero.
Yeah, for me, he can't chat to Park Ji-sung because Park Ji-sung has won Premier Leagues, Champions League, bare stuff. But just a quick topic because Koala just mentioned it here, so I double checked just to make sure Koala ain't trolling me. Apparently, Fabrizio Romano says on the United We Stand magazine, Eric Ten Hag says he has no regrets on his decision about the Jadon Sancho case. He said, "I would not act differently if it happened." So you agree, basically? Yeah,
we haven't punished Sancho enough. That's what I think. Do it even more.
How much more can he punish?
Just disgrace him. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Parade him in the streets.
Yeah, man. I would have him in Trafford Square. Yeah, like locked up in one of them olden days. You know when you put your head through the thing. Yeah, you lock him up in that. Yeah, and you get United fans and just like throw vegetables at him, like tomatoes, everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd do to him anyway.
So you don't even feel like it's remotely harsh?
No, it's not harsh enough.
Nothing. You're saying everything he's done has not even tested the limit.
No. Modern footballers nowadays, yeah. Listen, I grew up when I started watching football. It was like late 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. That's the era I grew up in. So I was fortunate enough to grow up in the glory United era.
I think that was the best era of football. Honestly.
Yeah, it was. In general, you're right. Just forget United. Just in general, it was and even outside of United. Especially when you watch football nowadays, you realize, again, I'm going to use another culture cams. Look, listen. Look, the era I grew up in, look, it's true. People act like snowflakes nowadays, man. It's true. Like back then, if you challenge the player, they would
Yeah.
respond on the pitch. They wouldn't start. There's no tweeting or anything like that back in them days. Yeah, social media for me has made football toxic. That's just my opinion. I think social media has made football worse. I preferred football before social media
I
existed.
feel like players care a lot about
Yeah, man.
image. I feel like they care a lot about their media image, and this is why, if you lot don't know, a lot of football players and their agents, they work with PR companies to try and leverage
Oh,
their PR
my,
image.
my,
I don't
my
know
mate
if
just
you
sent me
lot-
a text which I think is going to hurt you very much because it's one of your favorite players who's just been banned for 4 years.
Yeah, I know, man. I was gonna do a stream about it, but I'm just gonna
Again, I'm glad.
silence.
I can't stand that guy.
I don't listen. I think Pogba, there was the best time.
Fraud.
I saw fraud. How can you say he's a fraud?
Fraud.
Tell me why he's a fraud. Tell me why he's a fraud. Tell me why he's a
Listen,
fraud.
when he came to United, yeah, okay, he was 23, but he was touted as one of the best midfielders in the world at that time. No one can tell me differently, yeah? This guy comes to United, and I appreciate that every manager he played at under United and the entire 6 years he was here, the club was a mess, 100%. And me personally, I've never put it on just Pogba to lead the club. However, if you're going to talk like he did off the pitch all the time through his agent, you got to back it up on the pitch. It's a different thing if it was like a humble player who always stayed quiet, just, never really talked. I wouldn't put that kind of pressure on him. When you talk and act like he does, you got to be that man on the pitch as well. And he never did that when we really needed him in
Didn't
big
he carry us
games.
to the Europa League final?
Come on, carry us to the Europa. Look at the standard. This is
Yes,
what I'm
he
saying. In the
He won
era
us a
I grew up
trophy.
in, we
He won
had
us a trophy, though. He won us a trophy.
it's a Europa
Look
League.
how long it took him. Okay, it's not the league, it's not the Champions League, but it's a
Mina,
Europa League trophy. I'm gonna be
name the teams we played in that Europa
We
League
played
run.
Ajax in the final.
Name the teams before that, please.
We played. I'm sure we played Roma at one point.
No, we did not.
I'm sure we played Roma at one. Let me go.
We did
let
not.
Me go back. Because one thing I won't
We
allow
did not.
is it was 2007, right?
Yeah.
2017. Sorry. One thing I won't allow is this revisionism that people like.
It's
to
not
do.
revisionism. I'm just saying to you, like, to
Okay,
say he. Yeah, name the teams.
I'm looking at the teams,
You've just seen it. That's why you're laughing. You've just seen it. That's why you're laughing. What's they? I want you to say it out loud now. Go on.
I'm seeing Anderlecht, Celta Vigo.
Yeah. See, now you regret it, yeah?
I'm seeing a team. I ain't never seen this team in my life. FC Rostov.
Yeah. Where did he get? Where did he get Roma from? Where did he get Roma from?
I'm sure. You know me, yeah. I make things up, guys. Sometimes when things are when things are not in my court, I make things up in it. I lie my way
Yeah.
out. But we played Ajax in the final, and I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna run with that. No one can take that away from me. But one thing I'll say about Pogba is that I feel like if United had their shit together in that time he was at United, recruitment, the guy, his best season is when he was playing on the left side of a free, which is where he liked to play.
The Ollie caretaker season. Yeah.
Ollie's season. Is
I hear
when he
that.
played his best,
I hear
think,
that.
because he was playing in his best position. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'll be so honest. Do you remember his last season? Ronaldo came. Remember, he had like 5 assists in 2 games.
And then he got like 1 assist for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he got 1 assist for the rest of the season. I thought he was gonna break the assist record that year. I genuinely thought it.
Yeah. I mean, four of them were against Leeds. You know, I mean, we used to batter them every time. It's mad. But look, the thing with Pogba is, for me, look, again, it's like old, but look, for me, mentality is so important, especially at the elite level, yeah? And Pogba, for me, never had the mentality to reach the elite level. It's why Fergie let him go in the first place. That's the way I felt. I think Fergie knew from a young age he didn't have the right approach and right mentality. And that's why
mentioned by Matic in an interview recently about people.
I heard about that. I don't know what Matic said.
He's basically talking about how Matic said that him and some other players started a whole disciplinary group within the squad to basically find players who were always late to training, and it was Pogba and Sancho that were predominantly late all the time. And
there you go, innit? It says a lot.
Like 80k worth of fines off people.
There you go. This is what I'm saying. So it's look, I'm not saying Pogba didn't have talent. The guy clearly had talent, but when when the talent doesn't match the mentality, you're not gonna make it at the top level. You're just not. And I feel like there's times where we really needed him, yeah. And like I can't remember a time where he ever like led us to a victory in like a big game. And people will say, "Oh, the Etihad, we won 3-2, but we finished bloody 20 points behind City that season anyway. It doesn't matter. Like it was that game he only played well because there was rumors that week that he was trying to twerk for Guardiola to sign him in the summer. You know what I'm saying? But managers like Pep, Klopp, they'd never sign a player like Pogba. Never. And
Can
they
I
haven't.
say, yeah, I'll be so honest, guys. You look, I can sin bin myself, but I think we will never see a Pogba again in our lifetime of football. Especially for his you can laugh all you want, but his talent, I'm saying his talent is one thing, yeah. His ability is another thing. But to be that size and that height and do the things that he used to do on the pitch so easily, yeah, it's something you'd expect from a petite person, you know, like a short person, a Modric, Iniesta, that kind of.
I mean, don't you think Yaya Toure exceeded everything Pogba was meant to be?
I ain't gonna talk about no Man City player here on my channel.
But
I ain't gonna talk about no Man City player.
But you said, but no, listen. You said you will never ever see a player, but I'm sure you watched Yaya Toure play.
I did watch Yaya Toure, but I'm not gonna sit here and praise him. I'm not gonna sit here and praise him because he's a City player. Yes, I'm African, and I think he's one of the best African players. I think he's the best African player.
Top 3 for sure.
I think we're having this debate. I think it was during the international break, and Salah, that's a different topic, I would say. But I think Yaya Toure for me is one of the best African players.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm saying Pogba as a United player because Yaya Toure didn't play for City.
Okay, so just United players.
Just United players. And can I just say, I think Pogba's downfall started after the World Cup. 2018 World Cup. There's barely any players in that team that won the World Cup that is normal now. Bar like the Mbappes and the Griezmanns, whatever. But
I get it.
Retired a year or two after. Kante, injury prone. Lloris, injury prone. Pogba, I genuinely think they sold their soul for that World Cup.
To be fair, the only one that's still playing is Lucas Hernandez.
Out of that back line or the midfield, there's not many of them that are still playing.
Yeah, it's just Lucas Hernandez. Well, the thing is, Pavard's still playing.
Umtiti, another guy, fell off.
Yeah, Umtiti went. Yeah. But to be fair, he was in Barca. The Barca were a mess that time. But listen, look, Pogba. Look, I know you love Pogba, so you're always going to defend him. For me, it's just a complete listen. And the one funny thing is, you won't believe me, yeah, but I defended Pogba a lot the first 3 or 4 years. I remember me and my mate used to always have an argument because he's Manc born and bred, yeah. So he was never really a fan of Pogba. I defended Pogba a lot until I just felt I couldn't defend him anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it just got a point with Pogba where I was like, I can't defend this guy anymore. Like, I've tried, but this guy don't give me anything back. That's how I am with players. Like I'll defend you. If you don't give me anything back, I ain't defending you anymore.
I think the worst thing he did was that documentary. I think that documentary.
Oh, the Pogmentary, yeah.
Pogmentary. I watched it. I liked it because you get to see an insight into him as a person. But as a football fan, you're gonna be you'll watch it and be like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? And you know what? 4 years for doping, I think his career is done. Like I think no English, no European club will touch him.
No.
He comes back. He'll be like what, 32, maybe 33?
No, way older than that. He's 30 now, isn't he?
He's 30. I thought he was 29. So if he's 30, he'll be like.
He'll be 33, 34 when he comes back. He's injury prone anyway. He'll be so unfit. Yeah, he'll be so unfit. Like, nah, he might as well retire and just, I don't know, become like a TikTok thing. Like do like TikToks and that. He's good at that. You know what I mean?
He should do that. But big up show, man. This chat went a lot longer.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I took up a lot of your time.
It's all right. I was gonna end the stream like 40 minutes ago, but it was a nice chat, and a lot of people actually agree with you.
Nah, big up to you, Mina, man. Like, I appreciate everything you're doing on the channel. You're putting in graft. You're doing streams every day. So yeah, big up your channel.
Big up, man. I appreciate it, man. Peace, guys. How did we go from talking about United to talk about Pogba? It's funny. No matter what happens, we always end up talking about Pogba here on the channel. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. But guys, this stream has ran a lot longer than what I anticipated. I was only planning to do an hour, and it's nearly been 2 hours. You guys know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button. I will probably try to do a call-in show maybe every other week if it's something that people want and it's something people want to see. I'll try to do it every other week so people can call in. You can become a member. It's the link in the bio of this video. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get custom member-only content as well. And of course, pinned comment in the chat right now is my Twitch link. Twitch, yes, Twitch. I will be streaming. I stream over there. I stream gaming stuff. I'll be streaming Call of Duty, Warzone, etc. And you can come over there and you can just vibe with me. You can vibe with me. I don't want to do Call of Duty streams here because it ruins the aesthetics of sports. You know what I mean? So I'm going to do all my COD streams over there. If you do play Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever, we can play together if you join the membership. Simple as that. Samir says, oh, wa alaikum salam. How do I join the next call-in? I will drop a link. There's always a link in the comment section and I pin it as well. So you can join from that link and you can call in. Always want to hear everybody's thoughts. I'll be back tomorrow, guys, with another stream as well with Saeed. You don't want to miss that one. You don't want to, you know what, guys? I want to bring Marcel on the channel. So I think I might bring him on. If you guys say yes, if one person in the chat says yes, bring Marcel on, I'll bring him on with Saeed, because the other day I was on Saeed's channel with Marcel and Marcel just winds everybody up and I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. Yeah, there you go. You lot said yes. Okay, I've seen 2 people, 3 people. All right, cool. I'll bring Marcel on the channel hopefully tomorrow if he's available. I'll bring him on. Saturday, we're back. Morning stream, Saturday morning vibes. We're going to talk about the upcoming games. Obviously, on Saturday, we're going to talk about the big one. I say Villa Park, Arsenal. Hopefully, Villa can do a job. And obviously, we got post-match content for the Bournemouth game. Just a lot of content. Bring Hajj Ball. I'll try bring him on. Kuala keeps asking for him. So I'll try bring him on. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out, man. You guys know it what it is. Stream went way overboard today. Way overboard, but I love it. I love it. And I'll continue to do it. Until next time, guys, it's your girl, Mina. Peace.